I'm really proud of the guys. There have been a lot of highs, a lot of lows. I think we battled as hard as we could. I really do feel that way. And even the game out there tonight, they outplayed us. I think plain and simple, that's what happened. But we battled right to the end. I still felt like we were getting two there in that last end and having to make them throw a tough one in the extra. So for us, a great week. I think over the last few years, we've won some of the biggest games as a team together. We've lost some of the biggest games as a team together. And I think in a few days, we're going to, learn what we have to learn from this week and hopefully improve and keep building and keep getting stronger here in the future.
I'm just really proud of our team. We had a really good run. Every loss in here was on last rock. And it just goes to show that even when we don't have our best stuff like today, I think Skipper actually played really well today, but we just weren't sharp and we still found a way to take a team playing probably like 95% to last rock. And that's just how we are. We always find a way to make it interesting, sometimes in good ways and sometimes in bad, but I wouldn't trade any of my teammates for anybody. It was a dream come true to represent Canada. I hope I get another chance to do it again.
Well, I think it's just you just have to accept. We're playing one of the top teams in the world, and we lost, and the consequence of that is, we're not going to be playing for a medal. And of course, I want to be sitting here saying I'm playing in the semi or the final tomorrow, trying to get on the podium. But it just didn't happen for us this week, and I think is true of a lot of Canadian teams. I feel like if we could start the week over today, there would be a dozen things that we do, just a little tweak here, a little tweak there. I think we'd get a few more wins along the way, and that would go a long way in a lot of ways to get us on the podium. So we got to learn what we got to learn here from this week, and then we've also got to move on. Yeah, to be honest, my opinion is that anyone that thinks that Canada is going to come into these kind of events and just steamroll their way through to the podium really hasn't been watching that much curling in the last, decade. There are a lot of really good teams here, and even the teams this week that finished at the bottom of the standings, they were just as likely to knock you off if you played your B game. And I think you're going to see that at Worlds in the future. I think you're going to see it at the Olympics. Team Canada has to come ready to play their absolute best, and if they don't, we're simply not going to win. Yeah, I think you get a certain comfort level, playing all the same teams all the time. Yeah, big events like the Brier and Slams and things like that. But I think when you put the Maple Leaf on your back, there's some emotion that, goes behind that. And then you're thrust into a world championship for the first time with not a whole lot of downtime in the middle. So your preparation heading into the event's a little bit different than it could be. But overall, it's all the little things. There's not many big differences amongst the top teams here. It comes down to a half shot here, a half shot there, half a game where maybe we didn't quite come to play as much as we needed to. And ultimately, I think that's where we're at right now. I'm really proud of the guys, though. I thought we battled real hard all week. And I'm just so proud that we were able to make the playoffs together. I think that was a really special accomplishment.
Yeah, we're very proud. As I said, after our last round robin game, we just wanted to go into the playoffs with some momentum, and we managed to obviously scrape that win, and we felt like we were playing well enough to win. So obviously came out and tried to play as well as we could, and I think we did. I mean, it feels good because the last two World Championships we've been to, we've ended up losing to Canada in the playoffs, one in the quarters and one in the semis. So it feels like we've kind of got over a hill, I suppose. Like if we play like that going forward, we'll be a tough team to beat, I'm sure.
I think it did to an extent. We had a chat before the competition. And we didn't want to be thinking about that. We had aspirations of going further than just making the top six, but obviously the way the week going, it was very tight between a lot of top playing teams, so it did get a bit jittery, and we were very relieved last night when we got the news that we'd secured a playoff spot. So it was very nice to do that for Team GB.
Well, either team are obviously playing like amazing. We've played Nicholas a lot of these events and played him in a few like playoffs at like Europeans and stuff like that. So we we maybe know his team a bit better when it comes to playoffs, and they don't miss a lot in playoff times. And with the RCF team, we've played them a few times just generally on tour, but we don't know a lot about them. And they were on fire when we played them, and it wasn't our best game, but I'm sure whoever we play is going to be a really strong opponent. I think I knew a wee bit about it, but I didn't know that he was the actual president of the Royal Caledonian Curling Club in the 60s. But it's kind of, I guess, common knowledge that he is part of, or was kind of part of curling because of the royal title that the Royal Caledonian Curling Club got. I don't know if you knew anything about it.
No, I just probably to the same extent as Bruce's, but as much knowledge as I had, what he brought to the sport.
Well, I suppose you don't see it a lot, and we're obviously a bit relieved, but we had set up quite a good end up to that point, and we knew that we were either going to get the blank if he made it, or if we were going to get a 2 if he missed. And, we got the miss, so we got the 2.
Yeah, I think we knew the weight was good, so it was really a case of if we got past that top one, we always had the line that we were going to come off the one there stone top button. So I nearly got hammy curling a little too much, but thankfully it just curled into the top of the button, and it was a huge kind of moment in the game.